How's everyone? My name is William A. Thomas, here with William A. Thomas Associates, here with a quick video. So one of the questions that ends up coming up a lot of times is, how do I increase my credit? So we're going to get into that right now. Just to share with you a little bit about my story, I actually grew up, I always worked hard. First job was McDonald's. One of my favorite jobs, I always say, but the problem was the pay. McDonald's didn't pay enough to be able to keep my talent. So whenever I was younger, I never really had any type of credit because I wasn't really on the radar for the credit card companies. I wasn't making enough money. A lot of that ended up changing. However, I got into a situation where I had a bad influence and I started making bad decisions. So I went from being able to save up money and have money in the bank to finding myself with overdrawn bank accounts, things not getting paid on time. So, and that kind of got frustrating. And I wanted to be able to do more. How many people are there that say things like they want to be able to buy a house or they want to be able to buy a car? How many people have asked someone to co-sign for them on a car and they said, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. Not with you. You're not the one. So these type of things happen for different people all the time. And particularly, I always hear from one group of people that they don't have access to loans to be able to start businesses or get houses to be able to build wealth. So I wanted to actually dig into that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into a multi-part series where we go into the ins and outs of that, and we'll look at whether that stuff is true or whether it's pretty much just an excuse. Because myself, not coming from a lot of money, have actually found the key, but it was a lot by accident. So we're going to talk about credit and how to build your credit in 30 days. So going back to that story, okay, whenever I would go to apply for credit cards or to try to get a good deal on a cell phone, or whenever I try to go get a car, I always got the same thing in the beginning. They always told me that you don't have any credit. And they explained that having no credit is like having bad credit. And of course, if you have bad credit, then you're not going to be able to get anything. So I dealt with that for a while. And then to expound upon it, when I started getting utilities, because they'll give you a utility as long as you didn't mess up in the past, they'll give it to you. Like if you need to be able to get lights turned on, or if you need to be able to get gas turned on, or something of the sort. Now, if everything looks too bad, sometimes they're going to ask you to pay a deposit because they have no trust that you're going to be able to pay your bills. So they take that as collateral to be able to say, hey, if you don't pay it, we're going to start digging out of the collateral fund to be able to recover our money. So that's a little bit about what was happening to me in the past. Now, when I started overdrawing my accounts, started making bad decisions, going to the places that'll give you credit, there are places right now that if you have bad credit, they'll give you credit. If you have bad credit, they'll give you a car. If you have bad credit, they'll give you furniture. But what'll happen is they're going to charge you a whole lot more than you would end up paying. You kind of go in there, you sign with blood, let them adopt one of your children, or at least put your children up for lease. And for some people, they're thinking like, that's not a bad idea. And I'm with you. I understand. I have kids. I try to give them away all the time. You know, just kidding. I love my kids. But these places are what's called predatory lenders. So if you have bad credit, the predatory lenders are going to always offer you credit, but they're going to have you pay more, to where they basically get their money up front that would normally get over the long term through small amounts of interest. These predatory lenders may end up having you, by the time the loan is paid, the credit is extended, you may end up paying 3, 4, 5, 10 times the amount. How can you end up paying $2,500 for a small sofa that may end up being $400 if you were able to buy it up front. So these type of places exist right now. You can go to a shopping center right now. I'm not going to name any, but you know what they are. They'll offer you a couch, a refrigerator, a TV, and they'll say things like, all you have to do is just pay $35 a week. And that sounds good, because in any type of sales transaction, if you can break it down into smaller payments, then you can get people to pay more. It's easier for me to get someone to pay $50 a week than to ask them to come out of their pocket $200 a month. So you have to watch out for these places. And it's really important to be able to use resources. So keep coming back. If you're liking what you're hearing on this video, be sure, hit the like button, subscribe, and enable all notifications, because the stuff that we're going to be getting into, if you listen to what I'm saying, you will be able to make a change and a complete turnaround on your life. 180 degrees, not 360, because 360 will put you back where you were. 180, it'll take you going in a different direction. So if you're ready, say get ready. All right, let's go. So what we're going to do is we're going to start talking to the people who are in all situations. I'm talking to the people who have bad credit. I'm talking to the people who have no credit. And I'm talking to the people who may have good credit, but may want a different way to be able to increase their credit. So let's get into one of the ways that you can start increasing your credit score in 30 days. Now, a credit card is one of those ways. When you have a credit card, you are basically telling the world that, hey, there is an institution, a bank, a credit card company, whatever it is, that trusts me with borrowing money and actually paying it back. That's a huge thing. If you're in lending, has anyone ever loaned money to someone and not got it back? That sucks. It's terrible. You always want to get it back. So with credit card companies, once you start getting a credit card, what ends up happening is they will actually talk good about you, or they will talk really, really bad about you. And here's how they do it: by reporting to what's called a credit bureau. And in the United States, we have three major credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. There are other credit reporting agencies that are available that report for individuals and for businesses. But for now, we're going to just talk about the big three and how getting reported to them positively can actually help to increase your credit score. But how can you get that credit card if you don't have any credit? Why would they trust you? How can you get that credit card if you have bad credit? Because they don't really trust you. Well, here's the key. All right, everyone, you have a pen and paper handy. You have your cell phone with your notes index ready. You ready? There's a secret that says that, hey, if you put money up front, then we'll have a little bit more to trust you because you have skin in the game. So that secret is what's called a secured credit card. Most credit cards are unsecured. They're just going by trust, faith in you, which is calculated by a credit score. But the secured credit card, it's a little bit different. What you do is, for the credit line, it is basically based on how much money you put up front. So it gives reason for the credit card companies to be able to, number one, trust you with their money, because their money is backed by your money. Number two, it gives them the ability to be able to talk negatively or positively about you. So that's the thing. So you go to your local bank and you ask them if they have a secured credit card. A lot of them do. And when you do that, there will usually be a different application process. In my experience for the secured credit cards, I haven't had one that actually let me do it online. Most of them, they usually want me to come in and fill out paperwork, or they were going to send paperwork in the mail. I don't know if there's a certain purpose for it. I don't know if it means that whenever you have a secured credit card, they want to make sure that everything is, secured in the writing, secured in the contract. I'm not sure why, but that is what it is. So once you actually do that, you're going to give them a collateral amount, whether it's $250, that's usually the minimum, $500, $1,000. If you want to be a big player, or if you're already playing in the game and you have a stack of money just sitting around, what I recommend, if you can do $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000, it's going to look even better, because it's going to look like you have a $5,000 or whatever amount credit line. And pretty much you do. It's just backed by your money. So if you're someone who's saving money, instead of just saving the money, sitting in a bank account, drawing very close to zero interest, why not have the money in a place where it can actually build credit on your behalf? Why not have your money be able to work for you? So what you do is, after you fill out the application, you're going to give them the money. They might want it in cash. They might want you to give them a cashier's check or something of the sort. Different financial institutions do it differently. But once you do that, they're going to send you a card in the mail. And here's the thing. Once you get the card, start using it. But with one caveat, okay? You're going to use it with the intention of keeping a respective budget, number one. Number two, with the intention of keeping your credit utilization. What I mean by that, I don't mean to hit you guys with all the syllables. It means the amount you use. You want to keep it at 30% or lower. So let's say, to keep it simple, that you gave them $100 and $100 is your available credit line, then that means you don't want to spend more than $30. And what I recommend is this. There's two schools of thought. One is people say you can spend the money and just pay it back immediately as you go. The other is the people say that if you leave it on there for a little while, for a couple days, sometimes, to let it go over a month and you just pay it whenever the bill is due, that's the other way of doing it. Either way will work. If you do it the second way, you may possibly be paying a little bit of interest, which that's actually good in some instances, because the banks will reward you. If you're paying interest, then they're looking at you like, hey, you're making us money. But I never did that because I don't want to make them any money. I like robbing banks legally. Once again, I like robbing banks legally, and I'll do anything that I could to legally take their money. Now, the next thing that you do after you have been, paying it, using it, paying it, using it, paying it, and keeping it under 30% utilization, what's going to end up happening is the financial institution or the credit card company, the bank, whatever it is, they're going to report to one, two, or all three of those credit bureaus and say, you know what? William A. Thomas is a good guy. We give him the thumbs up. And what will happen is, once all of that is received, it'll start contributing to your credit score in a positive way. Now, here's the thing. Don't get to thinking that because you have your money securing it, that it's okay to not pay it. If you have a $200 secured credit card, right, and you spend $30, you don't want to sit there and think that, hey, well, I have $200 in the bank, so they could just take it out of there. That's not how it works. Just pretend that that $200 is not there. It's just collateral for a credit line. The only time you can use that is number one, if you can convince them to change your secured card to an unsecured card, or number two, which is in most situations, the institution will say that we will return the money to you less any funds owed after you close the account out. And sometimes people end up doing that because you may use it, because once you start using the secured credit card and you start building your credit, you're going to get offers from unsecured credit card companies. And it may be the institution you're using, or it may be a different one. But once they start seeing that they can trust you, then they start, giving you offers. It's kind of like when you're married already, and then all of a sudden, all the ladies are coming at you. And you're like, well, where were you guys when I was not married? Well, they wanted to see if someone wanted you. That's what it was. Once they see if someone wanted you, now all of a sudden they want some. But I digress. So, guys, it's simple and easy, but it's hard at the same time because most people don't take action. So, action step for today is to research and look at what banks do secured credit cards in your area. And once again, if you like what you're hearing, please comment. Please hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. I want you to subscribe to my channel and share it, because this is valuable information and you don't want to miss the next topic. We will be going into the credit stuff even deeper. This is only the beginning. And I also want testimonials. When you get your secured credit card in the mail, I want you to come back to this video, send a comment saying, got mine. If you got one in the past, say, I got one. Let's do this together. Let's build this together. Share this video. And I thank you for watching. This is William A. Thomas, and that's some food for thought. I'll let you do the dishes. Peace.